Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Safari Mack Explores North America. I'm Safari Mack, your guide and host, helping you make connections to the wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Southern California, more specifically, San Diego, where today we're going to go off on the San Diego coast to go fishing with a special seabird, the brown pelican, otherwise known by its Latin name of Pelicanus occidentalis. Now, I know you're probably thinking, shouldn't we have gone fishing with a different animal? Well, don't be sure to judge this book by its own cover, because this bird does pack a few secrets and has actually had quite an amazing history in our country of North America. But as always, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Check out my Facebook page for special content on conservation tips and projects you can do in your backyard. And finally, if you have questions about animals, or if there's an animal that you would like me to do in the future, all you gotta do is just send me an email, which you will find the address to down in the description below. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take flight. As always, we'll start with its family and its evolution. So, the pelican was thought to have first originated somewhere around 35 million to 30 million years ago, or at least 30 million years after the great extinction of the dinosaurs. And it was thought to have originated in Egypt before spreading out across the world and evolving their own species, or as I like to say, their own family bloodlines, which includes the Dalmatian pelican, which is the largest today, the great white pelican, the Australian pelican, the pink-backed pelican, the Peruvian pelican, the American white pelican, and of course the spotted bill pelican, and finally our species today, the brown pelican, which is really the smallest of the species. So in total, you see around 8 different subspecies. Now, North America has a number of other brown pelican species that occur in Florida, along Texas, along parts of Central America, and so on and so forth. But we're just focusing on brown pelicans as a whole, as well as the populations in Southern California. Now, let's talk about their habitat, lifestyle, and how they raise families. Now, pelicans, like other seabirds, they're more of a coastal area. They prefer to be close by the maritime areas, so like the intertidal zones, the marine estuaries, as well as they would prefer to hang out in mangrove swamps, where there's plenty of trees and other cover to rest or to raise their young. In terms of living on the open ocean, not so much. In fact, it's been recorded that pelicans will go no further than 20 miles offshore. They prefer to stay close to the mainland, somewhat of the mainland areas. Now, believe it or not, you would think that all pelican species are coastal, and a majority of them are, but there are a few exceptions of pelicans that will actually live inland towards large lakes and rivers. But we'll get to them on a much later time as we continue our journey across the world. Now, pelicans are pretty social. They like to hang out with other pelicans, or they'll even hang out in mixed species colonies. So other seabirds, seagulls, wherever there's room, and if there's enough fish around, they'll make themselves right at home. But now, during the breeding season, when it comes time for them to breed, they are known to mate with only one other pelican, so it's just one-on-one, but they do not breed for life. So basically, by the next breeding season, all bets are completely off. After breeding, the female will lay around 2 to 3 eggs at a time, and she will keep her eggs incubated, as well as her mate will take turns incubating. Just like our trumpeter swan, they will actually use their webbed feet to cover them on top of their eggs, therefore incubating them. After 28 days or 30 days, the eggs will hatch, and then it takes around another 63 days before these birds are ready to take off and fly on their own. During that time, mom and dad work together to catch as much food as possible. And how they feed them, this is going to sound bizarre, but this is true. Pelicans actually the parents will open up their bills, and babies, it seems like they're getting themselves eaten by their parents, but they're actually sticking their whole head into their belly to scoop up the fish. This is how they regurgitate or bring food back up. It's gross, I know, but then again, nature has different ways of feeding themselves. And besides, how else can you get these birds to hack up their own catch? I don't know, but I don't know that I want to do that just yet. By the time that they are around 63 days old, the birds are just about ready to fly and have to learn how to feed and defend themselves. Now, the oldest known bird in human care was recorded at 31 years, but it's thought that the life expectancy of a pelican may be a little less than 30 years. So here's a picture of what the juveniles look like. And they hang out in groups called what we call pods. Now, let's go fishing. Now, all pelican species are basically piscivores or fish eaters, right? But not all pelicans fish the same way. See, other species of pelicans are known to kind of hunt and fish together in groups. So what they do, they'll all go into the water together, they'll locate fish or whatever they're going to eat, because they're also known to eat amphibians, crustaceans, that sometimes, and this is going to be shocking, though I'm sure you've seen this on YouTube and on other videos, they will actually also hunt other smaller birds if the opportunity presents itself. But with fish, they're all together in a group, they're on the water, at the same time they put their heads in the water and scoop up with their pouches whatever they can catch. But not our brown pelican. No. Brown pelicans have a much different way of fishing for themselves. This is the only pelican species that is known to actually dive out of the air to catch their food. So first, from the air, they're locating fish, and then they dive down. As they hit the water, they open their bills and scoop up, which their pouch can actually hold 3 gallons of water at a time, full of fish if possible. And then they have to get themselves up to the surface, drain out all that water, and then swallow their catch as quickly as possible, because these guys, unfortunately, even with lightning speed and with a pretty good hook at the end of their bill, which is good for catching even larger fish, other seabirds, like this frigate bird here, are known to attack pelicans if opportunities present itself. They will mob or harass the poor bird, forcing it to ultimately give up its own catch. Heck, why else have we given the frigate bird the name of Pirate of the Seas? Finally, we're going to end today's Part 1 episode with their influence in human culture. Now, pelicans have actually become pretty symbolic as an area for a crowded coastal area. So crowded beaches, all that, they've come to symbolize that, although they do face problems with fishermen. But we're going to not talk about that just yet. We'll wait until next week. However, there are other major influences in culture that they've made. For example, they are actually the national bird of Barbados, as well of the different islands, Saint Kitts, Nevis, and Saint Martin. They are the national bird. Back in 1902, they were actually made the official bird of Louisiana, and even got themselves put on the Louisiana state flag by 1912. Finally, here's a little clarification I'd like to make. You probably know this character from Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo, right? If not, this character is named Nigel, who is voiced by Pirates of the Caribbean legend Geoffrey Rush, who played Barbossa from the series. Nigel is depicted as a brown pelican, but that's not entirely true. As I said before, they don't really cross over whole oceans. Instead, Nigel is more of an Australian pelican. Probably not the most important thing, but I just wanted to make sure that we all knew that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that's all the time I have for this week. Be sure to join me next week as we continue our fishing time with the pelicans. But until then, this is Safari Mack. I'll see you all out there.